Hello everyone, welcome to Buy Now, Sell Now, the weekend edition. This is the show where we answer all of your individual viewer queries as well as, of course, address each individual investor's portfolio. I'm Mubina Kapasi and let's kickstart the show without any further ado. It's a jam-packed show that we have for you today, and first up, we're going to be talking about stocks which include the likes of Apex Frozen Foods. We're also going to be getting in an outlook on the infrastructure sector and also on MCX. Later on the show, in our portfolio segment, we will be discussing a 12-stock portfolio that belongs to Balaji V. So let's introduce our guests then, who are going to be joining us for the next 30 minutes. Joining us on the fundamentals is Vikas Sethi, and on the technicals, we have with us Amar Singh from Angel Broking. Thanks so much, gentlemen, for joining us on Buy Now, Sell Now weekend. And let's bring on board our very first query for today. It's coming in from Vishal Vanzara. He is based in Mumbai. He says that he bought 200 shares of Apex Frozen Foods at 210 rupees per share. He wants to know if he must sell or hold on to it for one more year. His time horizon basically is 1 year, and many people do compare Apex Frozen Foods to Avanti Feeds, which of course has been an excellent multi-bagger for a lot of individual investors. The question is, will Apex as well be able to ape the kind of movement that Avanti Feeds has actually been able to deliver? Let's get that question first answered. Amar, you may not be having that much of a chart history that you can rely on, but you as well are advising him to book partial profits. What's your rationale?
Yeah, basically the stock has gone fourfold from the levels in the first week of September to currently close at 813. So clearly he's making a very good amount of money, but that's basically paper profits. So he should ideally book profits in at least 50% of the stock, and if the stock is fundamentally strong, and technically yes, there's not much of data to talk on that, but he could, if he wants to still hold on to the balance 50% of the position, he can trade it. He can trail it with a stop loss of 484 and hold the stock further.
Okay, so I think the consensus view is that now that the stock has already rallied a good 4 times, it may be advisable to essentially book partial profits at least. Our second query for today is from Rekha Ramados. She's based in Hyderabad. Her question is, with renewed interest in railway and power sector backed by the government initiatives, what stocks can I invest in with a time horizon of 2 to 3 years? Well, a question that's perhaps on everyone's minds, especially given the kind of thrust that the government is pushing. It's expanding its fiscal spending. What are the stocks and companies that are going to benefit from the government's higher spending? Well, let's get that question answered first from Amar. I understand Tata Power is something that's standing out for you.
Yeah, overall in the, I would say power sector, Tata Power is definitely looking good technically on the charts also. It has rallied, but any pullback towards 87, 88 can be used as a buying opportunity. It has got very strong support in the region of 82, 83, and consistently trading above the levels of 92, 93. It's likely to trade close to 98 and 100 levels. So any dip can be used as a buying opportunity in Tata Power.
All right, there you have it. Recommendations coming in from the space that you're interested in from both of our experts. Our third query for today is coming in from Pankaj M. Sevlani. He says he has bought 100 shares of MCX bought at 1,035 rupees. He wants to know if he must hold, sell or buy more shares with a medium to long-term time horizon. Pull up exactly what the calculator is suggesting for Pankaj. 1,035 is his buy price. And there you have it. He's sitting on a bit of a loss for MCX. In fact, he's losing just about 5.5% odd. Amar, what about you? What are the charts suggesting? Is there anything interesting that, is worthy to note in the chart of MCX?
Yeah, as far as MCX, what we've seen is the stock has corrected recently from almost 1150, 1160 levels to make a low of 893, and then it has bounced back and currently around 973 odd or so. So the stock seems to have formed a bottom, and there is some very strong support for the stock technically on the charts around 900 levels or so. So I would suggest that he should definitely hold on to the stock. Fundamentally, yes, the stock definitely has a lot of potential being an exchange. So I would suggest that he should hold the stock with a stop loss of 893, and the stock consistently trading above 1040, 1050, then he can definitely see a spike and the stock rallying towards 1150, 1160 levels, which was the recent previous high.
But let's discuss that and more with our experts then. And Amar, it was quite a tough week. We did see very violent moves in the Nifty on an intraday basis and on a closing basis as well. How should investors and traders essentially brace themselves for the week to come?
Yeah, the way Nifty's really bounced back from almost 10,030 levels to gain almost, if you see today, the market's gained by almost 100 points. So clearly reflecting that there is a lot of buying happening at lower levels, and also we should not forget that short covering is also taken place. Technically looking at the charts, the long-term charts, definitely they remain positive, strong, intact. Yes, being in overbought territory, so that's the reason we are seeing this sort of volatility. The medium term, what we are seeing on the weekly charts is somewhere that the trend, uptrend remains firm, but again, signs of more of consolidation. Whereas the short-term trend, we were in oversold territory, so a pullback had to happen, and 10,030, 10,050, that was a very strong support level. So going forward, the next week, again, I would say that it would be a volatile trading session, but if the market follows through as to the way it has closed this week, then we are in for some rally. But again, on the upside, 10,370 to 10,420. Technically speaking, that's a level that the market would find resistance at, because that would be a level where we would see some fresh selling coming in the market, or profit booking coming in the market, those who've bought it at lower levels. And also the other thing is that the Gujarat elections, that also is weighing on the market. So we'll have to say that could be the next big trigger for the markets.
Nail it down to individual stocks then. Where exactly are the money makers? First from Amar. Amar, on the technicals, and for those traders who have a short-term time horizon, what are the stocks that one can bet on?
Yeah, there are two stocks that I would recommend. One is ITC. We've already seen a good up move today as well, but it seems that the stock is likely to take off after a consolidation, because 250 was a very strong level of support for ITC, and also it was one of the stocks which really hadn't participated after the sharp correction from almost 350 levels. So ITC can be a buy from a short-term perspective in the range of 254 to 256, with a stop loss of 249 and a target of 266, because as I said, it's formed a bottom, and so the downside definitely seems to be limited. And also the way FMCG stocks are taking off, ITC also has a good opportunity. It's already rallied significantly today, but any pullback should be used as a buying opportunity. That's the first one. And the second stock to look at is DLF. DLF technically is very strong on the charts across different time frames. Yes, it is in overbought in a couple of time frames, so clearly reflecting that there would be some pause to its momentum. But yes, technically, since the stock is strong on a positive move, so any pullback towards 235 can be used as a buying opportunity in DLF, with a stop loss of 228 and a target of 249.
So ITC and DLF, those are the two stocks that do stand out on the technicals, according to Amar Singh. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us on this edition of Buy Now, Sell Now Weekend and helping our viewers out with all the questions and queries. And thank you, viewers, for tuning in to the show. It's all that we have for you on this edition of the show, and have a lovely weekend.